Today on the channel we go Toxic once again with the Super 7 Ultimate Toxic Crusaders Toxic Waste Edition of Toxie.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Super 7 Ultimate unboxing and review. And today we got something extra special. We got the Super 7 store exclusive Toxic Waste Toxie from the Toxic Crusaders line. But of course, for all your Super 7 exclusive store needs, head over to super7.com, use code KyleP at checkout to support this very YouTube channel. You can also, of course, get Super 7 items over there at Entertainment Earth using discount code Kyle to save yourself 10% on all in-stock items. Anything over $99 does ship free. Newly introduced flat rate shipping of $7.95. Gotta get a deal no matter which way you do it there. But Toxic Crusaders line, a little hit and miss, I think, for the Super 7 team there. I don't think it's setting the world on fire outside of Toxie, but of course, people want Toxie. There's a lot of people that want just one Toxie in their collection. These do pair beautifully with the Super 7 Ultimate Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, especially with some of the glow-in-the-dark elements like this one. So there is a lot of meat on the Toxie bone. The rest of the gang from the Toxic Crusaders, not so sure. It'll be interesting to see if we do get a Series 2. They've been talking about it, kind of pulling back on it. As of right now, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. However, they're getting the most out of their mold like never before. Like never before, as we got Toxie after Toxie after Toxie. We had like regular Toxie, Red Rage Edition Toxie, Toxic Waste Edition. There was All-American Toxie. There's an upcoming Toxic Crusader, which I did order as well. I'm very excited for that one. We've had like 5 or 6 different versions of this identical mold. So, I mean, have they got the most out of their mold by now? I think they really have, and I don't know if they've fleeced everything they can out of the Toxic Crusader, Toxie himself. It'll just be interesting to see what we get in 2025 if we get some more Toxic Crusaders. So we'll hold on tight for that, but hold on tight for this review because we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And this being a Super 7 store exclusive, at least as of filming right here, very, very different style for the Ultimates. Now, we've seen the Ultimates in the traditional Ultimate box. We know those all too well. There's also the new Deluxe, which are kind of dumbed down Ultimates, for lack of better words. We've seen that, but this is the first time we've seen an old school classic kind of background here on a big bubble card. So a little something different, a little bit extra special, and this one does glow in the dark. So by having it glow in the dark, I think this packaging works very well for it, especially if you put it up on your wall, something like that. But you know, here, we're going to take him out of the package, and we're going to dive into this figure here. Very, very cool, very 90s, very Toxic Crusaders line, I guess. Very cool here. Toxic Crusaders up top. We got Toxie in the background. Unpunched up here. How about that? Super 7 as well. Ages 14 and up. You 13-year-olds, get the heck out of here. You can't handle this. You can't handle this. 14 and up on here. Big window box. Does say Toxie action figure. That's all you're going to get out of that. On the back, no cross-sell, no nothing. Would have been cool to have a cross-sell. You know, if they're struggling to sell some of the other ones, be cool to put those back there. Just anything to get people thinking about those other figures in the line can't hurt, I wouldn't say. UPC, jibber jabber, warning, Toxic Waste, Toxic Crusaders, detox tip, don't be a punk, recycle junk. Oh, it's kind of like don't be a punk, collect them all from the old Jakks days as well. But it does glow in the dark with the sticker right there. But for science, we must do it. We must get it off the card. Oh, here we go. Slides off very easily there. You know I'm here for that. See you later. Goodbye. Little plastic prison time. Get a little box here behind the back. See you later. How about that? And there it is right there in the old plastic prison. Old Toxie ready to rock and roll, strut and stroll in his pink tutu. And I was a kid, of course, of the 80s, like a lot of us maybe were. See you later. Goodbye. And I'll never forget the Toxic Crusaders cartoon coming along and saying, this is absolutely not for me. I remember thinking, what is this? This isn't some kind of kid's show. The Toxic Avenger, of course, his normal name. See you later. Goodbye. This was the Toxic Crusader, and it was just kind of dumbed down into a kiddie cartoon, you know, just really playing off the Ninja Turtle kind of thing, the mutagen, the toxicness. I mean, all that kind of rigmarole in the early 90s, late 80s that we saw with so many different toy lines and so many different kid cartoons, and it didn't set the world on fire. I remember watching the cartoon a couple times and saying, this isn't for me. The toy line, not for many people. I never picked up the toy line back then. See you later, goodbye. It just wasn't for me. It just didn't resonate. However, as a little kid, the Toxic Avenger movie resonated for me, as I remember seeing it on USA. It was on USA all the time. I loved the Toxic Avenger movie. I've enjoyed the other ones ever since. There's a new one. I don't know if it'll ever come out. I guess we'll see what happens with that in the future. But a very crazy road from a very hard R movie, for lack of better terms once again, to a kid's cartoon. Just a wild thing for the old Toxic Crusader here, but a wild figure as well, and we're going to dive into it right here as well. Now, this is a crazy little bucket of slime and waste and goo and stuff. Now, I am not opening this up. Now, those days are long gone for me. Of course, when I was a little kid, I remember I had the Ghostbuster Firehouse, and remember you had that like slime, and there was the holes on the top, and you poured it in, and it would kind of go all the way down. I learned my lesson one time. I remember that stuff. I was chipping that pink goo off of there forever after it dried. Never doing that again, so I am not unbuckling this, taking this out, putting this toxic waste all over him. I'm sure it's really cool, but it's like one of those things. I want to preserve this garbage can container here. You got Toxie's face right on the top there. Toxic Crusaders warning. I want to preserve this and use this as a display piece by him. That's my plan here. But if you're adventurous, and I'm not that adventurous, so we're not doing this review, I don't know if anybody else is unboxing this one on YouTube. Is there anyone else in YouTube at all unboxing this besides me? I'm not exactly sure. But maybe in their video they're doing this, so search them out right there. But I do like that. I think that is really cool. Now, no extra hands with this one. We're keeping it not quite as ultimate as some other ultimates there. But we do get the Toxic Crusader shield. Of course, his other one on the Red Rage Taki, I just accidentally broke. Just very unfortunate there, the Toxic Crusader one. So I got to glue mine back together. This one, a nice kind of dull, flat pink color against here. And then you got the Toxic Crusader logo in there that will glow in the dark if you want it to. We do got the 3 grenade canisters, once again, yellow and pink attack going on. Definitely looking different, but all of this is reused from the other Toxic Crusader figures, Toxic Avenger, Toxic, whatever you want to call them, figures that we've unboxed on the channel. Once again, you get old Moppy right here looking good, and then you got the USA flag, once again, reused from the USA version of Toxie, which we unboxed on the channel. Check that out. I think we unboxed that couple months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. What is time? What is months? I don't know. Who knows? And then you do get, of course, his little friend here, Moppy. You could stick him on the end of this, and he could just live for there. Now, this guy's out of the cartoon, was never out of the movie. All in pink on this one here. And then you got the mop, the white mop there with the pink around it. Yellow broom handle, off to the races. But now we're having it old Toxie himself. It's getting extra toxic right here. We got all kinds of stuff going on with this one. I do love, you know me, sucker for glow-in-the-dark, sucker for translucent, and that's what we got right here. Looking really, really cool. Looking like he just walked out. He almost reminds me of the tar monster from Night of the Living Dead or Return of the Living Dead. It reminds me of that kind of feel vibe to him here, but I love the green skin tone, translucent throughout. You got a little yellow coloring on there. You got a nice wristband here in all the different colors. Got the tutu instead of pink this time. It's a nice blue. You got the blue bandolier over the top. Pink tank top on him there. You got the Rambo style bandana in yellow. Got the eyes popping out. Just a face only a mother could love. And let me tell you, his mother loved him. You saw the movie. His mom loved him to the end. Of course, you got the torn, tattered pants here in yellow, like a young Incredible Hulk, a young Lou Ferrigno back in the day. You got the, I guess, ankle warmers, almost looks like that, socks in the blue. Bright pink shoes, definitely an interesting look. And then you got some of that green poking out through the shoes, looking very nice there. Of course, articulation arm's going to go all the way around for us. Bicep cut, single jointed elbow, no side to side at the elbow. Hands back and forth, side to side. You get the old thumbs up hand here, thumbs up hand on this side. Head back and forth, side to side, up and down. No real waist. Oh my gosh, my waist is tight, but you do get an ab crunch on him. You got those big old Toxie splits. Everybody's doing the Toxie splits, and even more people are doing the toxic waltz, as we know with our friends at Exodus. Leg goes up a little bit, pretty limited there in the leg. Pin joints here in the knee, single jointed knee back and forth. Ankles up and down, back and forth, side to side. Unfortunately, some of that paint falling off on the ankle and just some simple movement there. But I will say these sure do glow. That's one thing about glow-in-the-dark figures, especially from Super 7 over the last couple of years. They found a new tool. They found something to make these things really pop. Every day when I come down into my basement, I take that right and I see my Turtles Super 7. I have one shelf full. Check out the collection tour if you missed it. A shelf full of glow-in-the-dark figures. Those things are always bright. It's like I got a nightlight on in there. And one of these days, we're going to get that glow-in-the-dark room, the glow-in-the-dark closet. We're going to put every glow-in-the-dark figure in there, and we're going to watch the magic happen. That's what we're going to do. But Toxie, not too bad right here. Going to see if he fits on a Mattel ringside collectible stand using discount code Kyle. And we're going to save 10%, and that's exactly what we're going to do with him here. Not too shabby once again. I think the only Toxie I'm missing is the very, very first Toxie. For whatever reason, I didn't pick that one up. I feel like I should go back and get that one to be complete, but we'll see what happens in 2025. But not a bad figure if you don't have a Toxie yet in your collection. Like I said, really does pair well with Ninja Turtles, Super 7 Ninja Turtles, even NECA Ninja Turtles. And in my brain, they kind of feel like they're in the same universe with all the kind of crazy different characters throughout the Turtle lore. You could see a Toxie crossover happening along the way. And especially since I scale perfectly with the other Super 7s and the glow-in-the-dark, just natural fit on the shelf for me. Maybe not you, but for me, really does seem to work. But if you didn't have a Toxie yet, this one's not so bad here, especially if you like glow-in-the-dark plastic. This one gets really bright going on there. Now, the next Toxie we're going to unbox on the channel will be the Toxic Avenger version. I'm very excited for that because when I think of the Toxic Avenger, I don't think Crusaders. I think Avengers. Can't wait to check that one out on the channel, and maybe that'll be the last Toxie we get from Super 7. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the future holds. But what does the future hold for you? All in on the Toxic Avenger, Toxic Crusaders? Any thoughts on the movie? Any thoughts on the cartoon? Any thoughts on the figures? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, best way to support this YouTube channel. So much content, it'll make your head spin. And of course, ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, and now on TikTok. Check it out over there. So for Toxic Crusader Toxie, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.